Hello and welcome back to Mr. Caro Plays FM26. Today we are going to look at the portal. What is good, what we like, how it can be useful to us. I guess what we don't like as well. We'll have a look at that. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Hit the notification button to see when videos are released. Enjoy today's video. We are here on our portal home screen. Now, interestingly, with here, this is kind of like the I guess the home screen for Portal. If I clicked on squad, it would kind of do an overview of each recruitment, match day. I'm just skipping through these quickly. Club and career. So kind of that is these boxes at the top, opposed to the sidebar on the old FM. They've kind of gone for this approach to have them on the top. Do I hate that? Do I not? I did like the bar on the side, to be fair, but having it at the top does allow us for more information, so I can see the benefits of that. Now, on the left-hand side of the homepage for Portal, we've got our messages. Nothing kind of crazy there. We've got our news in the middle with our opposition reports, our fixtures, our calendar, stages, which in this case is our league table. Now, I gotta say, I would prefer if that would include the cups within that. Maybe you could hit a little button over here, for example, and it would flick between the different competitions, but it doesn't. It picks the competition you are in at the second, i.e. the next game, which is okay. I don't hate that. I would prefer a little bit more detail, a bit more customizable elements within that, but that is not what they've chosen to do, and that's fine by me. Now, one other thing we can do on here, which is possibly the most interesting thing on this screen, is if we hit our little star over here, we can get on-the-spot advice from coaching, recruitment, developing, and staffing. So if we go through each one individually, coaching just brings up our assistant manager and kind of gives us the ability to offer different forms of training or coaching. Our recruitment is going to offer us things like requires first-team experience. It's going to tell us players who they recommend we sell, or players who we put on for loans, and observations in there as well. Wait before offering new contract, that kind of information there. We've also got our development, which to some extent is pretty similar to our training, but it's going to, in this case, wants to praise form, for example. I'm not going to do that, but we certainly could. He's actually been on a pretty good scoring record, so maybe we will. And then we've got our staffing. Now, with my team, I actually don't have a very good staff, really. I don't have enough staff. Mostly because of the finances aren't great, but that would kind of be where the information is stored of there. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't get this on FRFMs, but this is much more straightforward and in your face, which is obviously not a bad thing. Now, if we hover over Portal, you'll see that there's overview, which we're currently on, messages, calendar, news site, fixtures, stages, and opposition reports. You can also see underneath they are also there. Interesting that it's positioned it twice. Don't really get why, but if we go to messages, it's just going to be a similar thing of the same, but in a little bit bigger form, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm not saying it's bad. It's a different way of getting to the same thing. I would argue now that you possibly don't need to get to this screen as much. I would also argue that one thing that FM26 lacks is kind of, it doesn't have enough buttons for you to click. Personally, I think that actually the game could have a lot more things for you to click, which may not seem important, but I feel that if you could click more, you might feel a bit more immersed in the game. Because I think I'm in February, and to be honest, I had no idea that I was in 2026, because it just kind of spun through, and games come so quickly, you don't necessarily notice as much. So we're going to go to calendar, but this time we'll use a little bar underneath. Within calendar, we've got our general, which is pretty much everything all in one go. But if you wanted to break it up, and I think this is new to FM26, you can select training and modify your training straight from the calendar. Now, that will make some people happy. It's actually, given that FM26 relies a lot on duplicate information in terms of where to go for things, this is actually pretty good because it does narrow that search a little bit. So I can't complain there. That's actually a good thing. And then if you just want to look at fixtures, you can go across to fixtures, and it's basically giving you that in more detail. So it's in as much as like goal scorers, etc., that kind of thing. We've had a pretty good season with Morecambe. Lost a few more games than I'd like, but we're having a pretty good season. So you can see actually there's a lot of green in there, which cannot be a bad thing. Now, if we go to our news side, this isn't anything new particularly. It's interesting that it doesn't come here more often. I feel like on the old FM24, you'd see the screen a lot more. But nevertheless, despite the fact the only negative again is for me at least, is the customizability. But there's a decent shout of information on there, which is pretty good. And we've got our fixture schedule again, which is we've already been there. And then we've got our stages. Now, like I say, the only thing I don't like about this section is that you can't easily get to the other cup competitions that you're in. Now, for some leagues, that's quite a lot. So to not see it all the time, in my personal opinion, maybe people would disagree with this, but my personal opinion is that's a little annoying. But that's just me. You can also get your season preview from here, which is pretty cool. I feel like it was easier to get to on the old FM games, but this is how you can do it on FM26. And last but not least is opposition reports. Now, I love this screen. I may make a very short video on this at another time to go through in more detail. But for this video, we're just going to skim through it. So we've got our overview, our formation analysis, expected formation, expected tactic, and expected tactical style, goal analysis, set piece analysis, and team analysis. So pretty much a one-stop data analysis of the team that you're about to play. Now, I didn't set them up to do that. It kind of did it automatically, which is fantastic. And I do think this gives you more information than on FM24. I'm sure on FM24 it was present somewhere, but it does feel like it's pretty easy to get to on FM26. For this and this alone, I quite like the opposition report. I think I said that in a video that came out on Wednesday, last Wednesday, that I liked the opposition report because I thought it gave you a lot of information that maybe the in-game doesn't give you as much. So that's quite nice. But yeah, that's pretty much all with the portal. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Hit that notification button to see when videos released. Thank you and goodbye.